A man found a strange rock on the face. He noticed that there could be more to this rock, so he requested assistance. Moments later, his house was closed off and quarantined. Shortly after he made the call, an officer arrived at his home with ready to share what he found. The man was completely speechless with his jaw dropped. But what was it? Before we begin, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for daily amazing videos. Back in the spring of 2016, a couple named Stephen Witten and Viola were going for a nice walk on Middleton Sand. This was their spot in Lancashire, England. It was very close to their home in Overton, and it had impeccable views. Middleton Sands is quite the favorite spot amongst hikers and dog owners in the area. Stephen and Viola preferred their privacy when they were trying to relax. As they were enjoying the view, Stephen suddenly saw something off. There was a horrible odor in the air. Soon after, they found something that would subsequently alter their lives. They sniffed a few times, trying to understand the source of the smell. It resembled rotten fish, and they'd never smelt it before. They wanted to get away from the area, but they couldn't help but still be curious. As they continued, they finally saw it. There was a grayish blop lying on the ground. The couple walked towards the horrible odor, hoping to find what it was. Then they saw a strange rock washed up on the beach. This rock was similar in size to a football. Stephen extended his arm to touch the rock. He had read a lot about strange beaches, but nothing about finding strange discoveries. He and his wife were eager to know more. He waited patiently till he could pinpoint the smell, but still nothing. It was completely unfamiliar. The smell was disgusting, but very strong. He recalled it was like a mix between squid and farmyard manure. Stephen and Viola always wanted to be rich. They waited for the day that something would change and they'd win the lottery or something. Well, for most people, this was just a dream. For them, it was closer than they thought. The couple thought deeply about what they should do with the rock. They weren't sure if to leave it behind because of the smell or take it with them. This required intense thought until they had arrived at a decision. The couple had no intention of letting go. This could be their big chance to get rich, and they were not going to just pass it up. They were not positive it was worth anything, but they were willing to test their luck. He carefully lifted the rock and wrapped it in Viola's scarf. He wanted it to stay secure. He also didn't want to show this rock to anyone else. As soon as he arrived home, he'd go online. Stephen pulled out his fisherman's scales to check the size of the strange rock. It said nearly 3.5 pounds. This made the couple excited and eager. At that point, he was aware that he could not do this alone. He went online to a community Facebook group and posted a photo of the rock. Shortly after, there were tons of comments. You wouldn't believe what happened afterwards. Everyone wanted to share their responses. They had very abstract ideas that he was quick to dismiss. Some said it was part of a volcanic rock that came from the ocean, while others speculated it was a meteor. Then someone suggested that Stephen should use the magnet test. This would help him get to his answer. The guy was sure he was correct, but unfortunately, nobody had the answers. In an interview, Stephen said that the rock felt like a hard rubber ball. The texture was also wax-like you were touching wax. With these descriptions, what could it be? There was something off about the rock that causes such a chaos in the Witten home. He took the object to his home and held it up against a magnet. At that point, his anxiety was boosting. I don't know about you, but we're pretty nervous ourselves. He was starting to get hesitant to continue. He and his wife were not equipped to experiment on the strange rock. It could easily be dangerous. They had no idea. At the same time, they couldn't stop their curiosity. The magnet test is a useful way to check if an object is gold. In cases where it's not authentic, the fake gold will attract magnets. The magnet helps people understand what the real material they found is. After performing the magnet test, he found that the rock did not contain iron. This meant it was not a meteorite, despite what some thought. Still, Stephen was unsure why the object had such a horrible smell. After a search, the man decided that this would be too much for him to handle on his own. He had no way of knowing if it was dangerous. He quickly called for assistance, and momentarily, men in uniform arrived. He got help from those online, but it wasn't enough. Nobody knew what it was for sure, and he needed the mind of an expert to uncover the truth. You'll never guess what happened when he called for help. Moments later, 2 experts arrived in protective gear and cordoned off his home. They entered the house and tried to get rid of the substance carefully, while Stephen and his wife told them what to do. They left their rock on the table for the experts to examine. After looking carefully, they delivered the news to the couple. Stephen and Viola were completely speechless. This was far beyond what they were expecting. Stephen grabbed Viola and pulled her in close as they waited to go forward. The whole time, Stephen was thinking about the worst possible scenario. They hoped that the experts would calm them, but one look at their faces, this was not the case. The authorities informed Stephen that the item was not going to cause any harm, and this was a breath of fresh air for them, although it was not just a piece of garbage on the beach. Then the officials said what it was, and their eyes brightened. The experts said that the rock was a rare piece of ambergris. Sometimes this would wash up on the shore. For centuries, people desired the substance ambergris. It's commonly known for its horrible odor. However, over time it starts to become rather sweet. For hundreds of years, this material has been included in expensive perfumes. Some say you can even eat it. Ambergris originates in the bile ducts of whales and then goes out. This process is a bit gross. It's very rare, so it's worth a ton. Luckily for Stephen and Viola, they just stumbled upon it. They started to get excited. Ambergris comes from one specific whale, the sperm whale. These whales can be located in all oceans. They can become 67 feet long and weigh over 63 tons. Sperm whales have increased in amount, but do not always produce a lot. Sperm whales have been hunted for years due to their blubber. This blubber can be used to create candles, soap, machine oil, and more. In the 19th and 20th centuries, nearly 1 million whales were killed, so in 1980 there was a law made against this. Thus, ambergris is so rare these days. Not only is ambergris so rare, but the process of creating it is also very slow. Most people also think that not all sperm whales produce the substance. Expert officials even say that only 1% of the population produces this. It's usually found in the Atlantic Ocean. Most countries have banned trading ambergris. In the United States, trading ambergris is part of a larger ban on hunting and using whales for personal preferences. However, in the UK, Stephen got lucky. There, ambergris is categorized as waste. The couple was completely blown away when they discovered that someone else found ambergris in Morecambe. This was found very close to Stephen and Viola and sold for $1,555,000. Stephen and Viola wondered how much theirs would be worth. The ambergris found in Morecambe weighed nearly 6 pounds. It was double the size of the Witten piece, so that meant theirs would probably go for about $65,000. For a whale product? That seemed incredible. With all this money, what would they do? Settle their debt, pay their mortgage, maybe retire early. However, in an interview with the Daily Mirror, Stephen said that it would help them towards buying a static caravan, which was their lifelong dream.